Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today, we're doing Brighton against Chelsea. As Brighton end up getting Chelsea end up getting absolutely dumpstered by the Seagulls. Brighton's still a tough ground to go to, still a decent team, and there's no real team in the Premier League in that sort of middle bracket that you can predict if they're going to win or lose against teams at the moment. They are very sort of in and out of form, and Chelsea seem to be slipping out of it compared to what they were doing at the beginning of the season. It was interesting that a lot of people were saying that they were up for the title race and in there and roundabouts, and really they're just sort of scrapping to try to get top four, and I'll be shocked if they keep doing performances like this that they will actually get into the top four. We're going to go over a couple of the goals and a couple of the talking points. Now, here's little Cole Palmer. I'm going to watch this shot come in because he completely skews it. Watch this as he comes in. Bosh completely knocks it. But let me show you something. So, you see it bouncing here, right? It's a skipping pass. This is one of the most important, simple things that you can become a better player, or you can identify if you're a coach and you want to be, as good as me. If the ball isn't passed properly, right, you get this little bouncy skip on it. What that means is the person striking the ball can't always strike the ball cleanly because the bouncy skip bit comes up as they're striking the ball. Back in the day, they used to call it, it got a bobble. Sometimes you would say it got a bobble because the ground and the pitch was rubbish. But a lot of the time it got a bobble because the passer of the ball hasn't actually hit the centre of the ball correctly. They've put this little weird spinny bit on it because they've hit the ball wrong. And then what ends up happening is when the shot comes in, you end up scuffing it because it's on this little bounce a bit and it goes away. And it comes to the person passing the ball properly. And it's very overlooked in most commentary on, mainstream and that because they really don't know what they're talking about. But it is a massive, massive impact of simple things of being able to pass the ball properly. It means the person receiving the ball doesn't have to control it so well, doesn't have to actually, concentrate on the strike so much. And you can't really judge where that bouncy, skippy ball there is going to be up bounce because it's coming at you too fast. So to react to it, that's kind of why it's skewed, and you can even see the spin on the ball here as it flies off into the distance. But let's get on to some of the goals. Okay, this is just completely and utterly poor from all levels, right? So if you've, I hate saying these here, if you've coached as much as I have, but I've done a lot in football. You cannot allow someone from here to strike a ball when you're back forwards on the halfway line. They're going to score a goal on you. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a wonderful world-class touch to bring the ball down to help facilitate that, striking opportunity. But look at what you're doing here as Chelsea. You've got 1-2 players here, 3, all just kind of looking as the goalkeeper is coming out of the box and nobody is putting him under pressure. If you're a centre-back and the moment you see someone there with all that space, okay, the first thing you start doing is dropping, not trying to squeeze up to the halfway line because the ball's going to beat you every single time. They're going to be onside. Look, you can see he's going to be onside and you have to start dropping. Because remember, the space is the dangerous aspect here. Your team is terrible and they haven't put pressure on the ball, so you have to react and drop back. If the coach isn't telling them this, they should know this because they play in the Premier League. No pressure on the ball, space in behind, drop, take space away. It's not that complicated. It's a decent ball. It's actually put quite well in between the two defenders, but not quite, but it all comes down to the touch. That's all it is here. This is absolutely magnificent touch. We're going to show you it from a really good angle before he slots it into the goal. Just watching it over his shoulder. Now, one of the worst things I was as a player when the ball was up in the air is I would take my eye off it quite frequently. Now, found out later on there's something, with my eyes that made me do it, but it didn't matter at the time. You've got to pay real close attention when that ball's dropping down to you. You know when they say don't take your eye off the ball? That's exactly how you have a great touch like this because you watch it hit your foot and you watch yourself control it. You don't assume you can control it like I used to because I had talent. You watch it all the way come down to your foot and you control the ball, okay? This is the angle here. Just watch this. Concentration, killing the ball dead. Defender's got really no chance because, well, his body shape was wrong when the ball was kicked. So now he's in all sorts of problems. You get into this situation sometimes when you're defending, when the striker's actually in control of the game and you're not. You're just So as soon as this ball gets brought down and the striker's got it, he's in total control of whatever he wants to do. The defender now is just a passenger, just hoping that he makes a mistake. And he doesn't. Takes it down brilliantly. flicks it to the outside. We're changing to the other angle here because I want to show you this. Look, one defender's back. Oh yeah, we're not. Oh, neither are we. So when he cuts inside here, it's a great finish, don't get me wrong. Keeper probably should have done a little bit better. But also, defensively, nobody else bothered to get back. One did. Oh, I don't know. I'm just having a picnic, mate. I'm not a bit bothered. And it comes down to just simple, basic defending when a long ball's coming through that no one's there to help the centre-back. And he just takes a touch, bosh, finds a corner. It's a great finish. It does one of these little ball bounces just in front of the goalkeeper techniques, which I quite often talk about. So what it does is as it bounces underneath the goalkeeper. So when he's diving, it makes it really, really difficult for him to actually try to save. Interesting here on the Chelsea disallowed goal, but it's clear, Endo Fernandez has two hands in the back and just shoves him down to get himself in to score a goal. Maybe the ref should have looked at the Everton game because I think that the Liverpool fans will be up and right. Didn't we have that happen to us when what's his face let the ball bounce in the penalty area and they from a shoving behind, but rightly so. Two hands made it obvious. But here's the difference I think in that Merseyside derby in here: the defender goes down, and we all hate to see it because we would rather have players stay on their feet. But if the player stays on his feet, he's not getting the call. What would you do? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, I want you to watch this challenge as we see it here. I don't know. I think it might be Casado. Goodness knows idea for Chelsea. I don't know who their players are anymore. Watch as he tries to sort of shoulder charge and push his left foot across here. Instead of doing what he should do, is just run with the player and just keep him out wide here. Okay, that's all he needs to do. Because what will end up happening is the player will give him an opportunity to actually tackle him. What he does do though is watch this. He just kind of half shoves the player, completely goes just takes him actual self out of the play by going behind the defender. The striker. All the striker's then got to do is stay on his feet to beat the defender. Just run with him. Just, what are you doing? If you're going to do that, win the ball. Does neither. Just sort of takes himself out of the game by trying to shoulder charge and push him and doesn't realise how quick the Brighton player is. And he's just gone right past him. Now also have a little look. 1, 2, 3, 4. All focused on the ball. No one is paying attention to the double overload here on the back post. And this guy's screaming for the ball in the middle. Just completely switched off. They're all just deer in the headlights. All tunnel focused. And this one little area. There's not another Brighton player anywhere near here. There's the ball. Yeah, I get it. Player ball, we're okay. Player terrible, but it's just really bad defending. And now it's a case of, can he pull a little trick across? Look, everyone is still focused and looking at the ball. No one's aware that this poor Chalobah again is 2v1 here on the back post. They're all just gravitating towards the ball. Like, honestly, where are you going, mate? Right? He hasn't beaten him yet. He's nowhere near him. Where are you going? Like, what are you doing? There's a completely utterly free player here. Push him onto there. All of a sudden, we might be marking players in the box. And they're not. They're just all focused on the ball. And poorly, let's add. 3 players on the ball. 1, 2 that got pulled over. Out of position. Why out of position? This is what I use as a rule of thumb, okay? These are the lines here. These are where your centre-backs want to be at all times. Yeah, you can afford to have one go over, but the other centre-back will be here. Or one centre-back come over here and the other one will be here. But he's just gone too far. And also, not only that, the pace of the ball comes in. Oof, they're complete. That little tip there may have saved the goal, even though they end up scoring them. But do you know what would have saved the goal? Is if you were marking the player, and when it came across, you could have just defended it, shielded it to your keeper, let him pick it up, and it'd be easy. Nope, didn't do that. Ends up becoming a right old mess. This is the point where I'm expecting one of these 2 players just to come in and smash the ball in the goal. But all that bad positional play there from Chelsea, when you have 3 people around the ball, no one's winning the ball, 2 people not marking, and poor Chalobah's hung out to dry here. Look, he doesn't know what to do. It gets worse. Because now what you're trying to do is swarm the ball, right? You know your defensive lines are broken. Here's the ball. They're going to be shooting. So what do you need to do? Everyone needs to run, pressure the ball, and shut down as much space as you can and try and let your goalkeeper get back up on his feet. Does that happen? No, no, no. He jumps up. Does he go towards the ball? Or does he do my new favourite Premier League defending tactic? Run away from the ball. You've got it. He runs away from the ball. So off he goes, runs away from the ball to stand on the line instead of running towards the ball to squeeze the play. No, we don't do that anymore in football. The ball isn't dangerous. I need to run back and stand on the line. Poor goalkeeper's been done again, thinking he's shooting. He's already on the ground, taken completely out of play. Any other Chelsea players, other than this poor Chalobah kiddie, going to pressure the ball? Or are they going to run back on the line for no reason as well? Oh, no, we got another one running back onto the line for some reason. Yes. You really have to question how they learnt football and they didn't know that the ball is a dangerous thing inside of the 18-yard box. Get better, boys. Be better. It's interesting, actually, how the game goes, because actually this is probably a foul here. Shoves him in the back, wins the ball. It's probably a foul. Ref doesn't give it. Yeah, gives the ball away right there. Ref doesn't give it, but he does give the other one because it's in the penalty box. I mean, and this is why I think everybody gets frustrated with VAR. Because if VAR is supposed to go back and look when a goal is scored, was there a foul committed? They're going to go, oh no, because they're going to back up the referee. And it's a foul. I hate saying it, but it is a foul. You know, you'd be mad if it was your team that didn't get the foul, but it is a foul. And that's why I don't sort of take team biased or player biased, except for a couple of players we all know I don't like. But other than that, like, it is a foul. He's lost possession. He couldn't pass it to his teammate because he was fouled. Yeah, should he have done better and been stronger? Yeah, I think he should have been, but it was a foul. But this is where the problem arises. Look, one player here, 2 looking for a free kick, 3, you've just got to get up and play. You have to get up and play the game. And this is getting into the culture more and more in football. It's been creeping in for the last 15 years, so don't convince anybody that, oh, this is a new thing. That players just stop and don't play the whistle anymore. They just complain to the referee. It's been going on forever, but it's happening more and more now where you see more players on the field stopping and complaining to the referee instead of just defending. And if they just defended, they probably would have stopped this, but they didn't. They just complained. Why is that important? Look what happened. He was just there. Had no intention of running over and shutting the ball down. You know, because we don't do that in the Premier League. We don't have a point where we go and pressure the ball. He was too far away and he was also complaining. Now you've got nobody pressuring the ball. Who's hung out to dry again? This poor kiddie on the left back position. I feel sorry for him. He's just like completely getting done by his teammates, ignoring him. And he has to go 2v1 all the time. It's like, no, you can do it all by yourself, mate. We're just going to ignore that side of the field today. Now, to be fair, he does get back. But it's so slow paced. Watch this. I'm going to show you this clip here, right? As he goes in, watch. No intention of trying to win the ball. His body shape's kind of awful because, look, he can't actually step because both feet are in the air and there's no actual sort of position for him to go left or right to try to win the ball. And ultimately ends up in this situation. He's been backed up so much he can't do anything. And now both players are effectively one player, right? Neither player has gone towards the ball. Neither player's doing anything, and they're just stood there now. Simple 1-2, and we get ourselves a goal. Yeah, didn't do a thing. Don't worry, the people complaining, you know, they're still walking back, not doing anything either. Now, of course, this is the thing. You're in a classic 2v2 situation here, where we've got 1, 2, that is definitely a 2. 1, 2, right? Classic situation where one person pressures the ball, the other person has 2 options. They either cover the space for the player, so they drop about a yard or 2, so he can't play it in behind, right? Or they sit, they still want to step back a little bit, but they're anticipating the pass into here, right? And they still want to take a step back, because if they step forward at any moment, they open up this space for a simple 1-2. But don't worry, they both step forward and have the ball played behind them. This is basic under-9s football, that 2 players press at the same time and the ball goes straight behind them into the space behind. It's like, well, as soon as you see your teammate step, you know if you go, the ball's going to go in behind you and you're going to get done. You have to stand off and stagger. They choose not to. It's shocking. Chalobah, to his credit, gets back, trying to do a little bit of defending, but he just gets a little bit of out. Chalobah goes to ground too early. Even in that goal earlier, he was going to ground way too early, diving in a little bit too much, trying to get there a little bit too hard. But you can understand why. Because he's isolated and he's really trying to put the effort in because it's always his side because he just seems to be on his own. And anyone who comes to help him really doesn't help him. So, and the keeper should not be beaten here. I mean, just shouldn't. Is it an okay strike? Yeah, but keeper, near post, just by the 6-yard box? No. Yeah, it's just done too easy. In there goes. Keeper's done. Sit down. And Chelsea lose. Brighton are on the up. Got themselves a win. We'll see how they carry on. And I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.